just a quick update. Someone commented on a side A of the Mary Shelley's Frankenstein review, and yes, I am going to make a Landon Loud video. She's going to be a guest star in a review of a Revolution X. But the problem is that I'm trying to find an actress to play as her, and, well, it's going to be a higher production than most of my content. Anyways, on to a side B of the Mary Shelley's Frankenstein game review. So, this is Lucy's office, eh? It looks just like my computer lab in my home dimension. Alright. Hello again, vampires, ghosts, ghouls, and zombies. Welcome to another installment in Gaming Horrors in the Dimension of Spookiness 2021! And of course, I visit the Shadow Queen buy and sell. Yeah, this buy and sell place looks a lot like my man cave in my dimension. Alright, so I'm going to be reviewing a game, a rather infamous game called Mary Shelley's Frankenstein on the Sega Genesis. Yeah. There was a Super Nintendo version of a Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, and it's mentioned in the AVGN Frankenstein video, but I don't think that many people took a look at the Genesis version of the game. Yeah, it's a version of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein on the Sega Genesis, and of course, like the SNES version, it's based on the Mary Shelley's Frankenstein movie itself. Let's go take a look at it and see if it's as bad or better than the SNES version. Also, a Mary Shelley's Frankenstein is, well, it was a movie that was released 2 years after Bram Stoker's Dracula, and didn't do well in the, well, it didn't do as well as Bram Stoker's Dracula in the office. Well, I mean, in the box office. But they still made video games of it. So yeah, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein had games on the SNES and Sega Genesis, and I believe that there's a Game Boy version of it as well. Just like how Bram Stoker's Dracula appeared on a lot of consoles. Yeah, so is this game worth taking a look at if you're a fan of the movie? Yeah, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein also will never be as good as the original the Universal Frankenstein movie, where some people for some reason call the monster Frankenstein even though he doesn't have a name. In the movie they just call him the creation. Some people just call him the monster or Frankenstein's monster. He doesn't really have a name. Alright, let's go take a look at Mary Shelley's Frankenstein on the Sega Genesis. Ah yes, before Sony was known for the PlayStation, they were known for publishing games for other consoles, and making that weird Philips CDI portable thing. Yeah, that's a thing. Well, here it is. Here's a pic of it. Also, if that name sounds familiar to you, well, that's because, well, they're the same company that made that awful Terminator 2 game for the Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis. The one where it only gives you one life! Wow, I'm impressed. The presentation's pretty cool. Yeah, it's got some pretty cool lightning effects. And even the animation of Dr. Victor Frankenstein himself is pretty well animated. I have high hopes for this game. Oh look, there's the monster waking up. And even the eyes are well animated. I'm impressed. Yeah, there's not much here. It's a bare bones title screen. Yeah, you see, there's an options menu, but it's pretty bare bones, and there's a password screen. Yeah, it's a bare bones title screen itself. It's not that impressive. I was kind of disappointed after being blown away from the amazing intro. But hey, at least the title screen looks amazing with that lightning. It kind of gets off the vibe of a Frankenstein's monster being awakened by lightning. Anyways, let's get into the game. Yeah, no, you're playing as the creation, also known as Frankenstein's monster, but, well, looks more like Uncle Fester. Yeah, and you also have these, lightning spells, or these projectile-based attacks, but I just wasted one of them, and it's pretty hard to come by. Yeah, they're not unlimited, they're very limited. Yeah. Come on! Hit him! Hit him! Oh man, this game just reeks of bad game design. I mean, come on, this is friggin' Frankenstein's monster or Uncle Fester. Should be able to take on all these villagers at once. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't like the music at first, but it definitely grew on me. It's not as good as the SNES version, but it's not great either. There's definitely better uses of the gems driver in the Sega Genesis library. Yeah, the music ain't bad in the Sega Genesis version, but the SNES version at least has a sense of urgency with its music. Like, it was like I can't remember how it goes. But even so, it's pretty much identical to the SNES version of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. But the music is not nearly as good. To quote AVGN, hit him! Yeah, your stick can light on fire, but I don't know how much of a difference it makes in the hits. Yeah, the hit detection in this game is pretty bad. Sometimes your hits will register, sometimes they won't. Oh, and there are villagers coming out of the windows. Yeah, it seems that everyone in this village hates Frankenstein's monster or Uncle Fester. It's kind of ironic since, well, Frankenstein's monster is scared of fire. Yeah, isn't that funny? Alright, let's go in the door, see where that takes us. Let's go in the door. Oh look, it's a hallway. It's another pathway. Oh boy. Wait, I went in the door and I went back out the same way? What's the point of the doors in this game? Are they like supposed to be shortcuts or something? Man, I have no idea where to go in this game. This is one of those where do I go kind of games. You don't know what to do and you're clueless. You just wander around like Frankenstein's monster. I can't even beat the first level, and that's rare for games. If you can't even beat the first level, then that's a bad sign. It's just another example of the absolute worst when it comes to game design. Wait, I died? One life? Just one life? What kind of game is that? And no, I did not waste all the lives to make it look like I had one life or edit this in any way. They literally only give you one life. So you're telling me you have to go for the entire game and beat it on one life? That's ludicrous! That's like Dr. Frankenstein levels of insane! The mere thought of beating a game all in one life is just completely insane. Let's end it here. I had seen just enough for now. So, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein on the Sega Genesis is pretty stressful, just like the SNES version. And of course, it's not challenging in it, well, being an intentionally hard game. It's just challenging because of poor game design. I wouldn't recommend you to get this game unless if you're a diehard fan of the movie or a diehard fan of the classic monsters like Dracula, Frankenstein's monster, and the Mummy. Notice how I said Frankenstein's monster and not Frankenstein, because again, the monster doesn't really have a name. Then that's something that I cannot get over. Yeah, and well, just like the SNES version itself, you get to play as the creation, or Frankenstein's monster, or the monster, or however you want to call him, because he doesn't really have a name. But it's not a great game, and for this reason alone, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10. Yeah. It's below average. Don't buy this game unless if you're a fan of the movie, which is why I bought it. And I bought it to a review. But still, I wouldn't recommend you to get this game unless if you're a fan of the movie. And, well, I need a better game to take a look at next. I've heard that there's a Carnival Funhouse in the Dimension of Spookiness that has an exhibit. I might go take a look at that next. Well, I'll see you all in the Carnival of Spookiness. See ya.